You are listening.
Alright, it works. Holy shit. The one time you don't test it, you know as well as I do, the one time you don't test it, it's the one time it don't work.
Yeah, I know. I might start a pre-show. And we're here. We're live, guys. HorsePLAY Live Uncut, episode 122. We're going deeper on the division and MOBAs. Maybe. I'm Yogizilla, joined, as always, by Obi-Wan X2. And yeah, I'm feeling really shitty today. A little under the weather.
Dude, so am I, man.
I'm like,
I got a migraine from hell.
yeah, man. And it's crunch time, too, because between all the work I have to do and then all the games coming out now, ugh. Oh, man. I'm glad I haven't jumped into Dark Souls 3 and
I'm gonna feel bad when I get done with it. You're not gonna be hard to play any games anyway.
well, it's a bye week for us for the next day on Madden, so that's good. Use a little break. But people are really big on Dark Souls 3 and Quantum Break.
Yeah, I was watching Quantum Break a lot, and I'm really not really
Well,
if I can get it without.
If you're huge on Remedy type games like Max Payne, Alan Wake, then it's definitely a game to play. Otherwise, yeah, skip it.
Otherwise, it's blah bitty blah bitty blah bitty blah.
By the way, apparently there are people interested in joining the Madden League on Xbox. I know Kevin was trying to start one, and he couldn't get any traction with them. Like, leverage the network. You have people, you have a community to tap into. People drive me crazy sometimes. It drive me batty. People take advantage of that. If we all work together, we'd be able to organize bigger things across all our different individual projects and across the Geeking Artists community. It's easy. Just talk. We have the Skype group. We got, Twitter. There's different ways. Facebook group. Facebook groups. Bearded Hat in the house. What's up, man? Well, And then, what is it? Captain Deadpool, a.k.a. Cause I'm Batman. The talker.
The scrub.
Wait, can you hear me? Wait. Can you hear me, Taylor? Taylor, can you hear me? Ooh, Albie Dumbledore's here, too. Ah, see, it's a good thing we started a pre-show. People showing up.
Yeah, but they won't come to Geeky Antics because none of those three like me.
Oh, they'll come over when we start the show officially. Oof, man, I'm so sleep deprived because I've been sick as hell, and then I'm exhausted, but then I can't sleep because I'm sneezing and coughing. Then the other day I had really bad chest pains. Ugh, the worst. I was like, I think I'm getting a heart attack. No, it's appendicitis. No, it's the wrong place. I don't know.
That's what happens when you're pushing 30.
I know.
37, 40.
No, I'm 25. I wish.
I forgot. Is it 25-ish?
I'll be want you to give him the lovin's.
Nope.
You have nothing to say to that?
I do not.
All right, well, good talk.
If he wanted these lovin's, if he wanted all this, he should have communicated with me. What happens when you don't talk? You don't get all this bearded goodness.
Preach it, preach it. I'm picking up some other notes, some other talking points up into my head.
I'm trying to eat ice cream before we start the show.
Oh, what you got?
A Snickers Blizzard.
Ooh.
I took my son. He did awesome for his reading program at school this month, so I took him out for ice cream and
Did you go Baskin Robbins, Cold
Dairy
Stone,
Queen.
Dairy Queen? Ah. Oh yeah, you said Blizzard, right? That's the Dairy Queen thing.
So
Uh,
I'm just wondering
uh,
if Beard and Hat's actually going to get on to TeamSpeak. He's supposed to be on the show tonight.
oh, I just caused something to break. Ah. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a guest.
I just
Yeah.
gave a spoiler.
I know. You gotta give the people something to look forward to.
They got to look forward to me.
Albie wants to know if we're doing an after party. If you'll hop on Xbox One, I think Obi wants to play Battleborn after the show. I'm gonna try to play a couple of rounds, but yo, they shut down the server went down during the day. I was like, what the hell? I only
That
had
shit pissed me off, dude.
yeah, I saw you playing with some random people, so I didn't jump in. And then as I was about to join, play the game myself, servers went down. Like, oh, cool. Oh, back to work. Oh, he doesn't have the power to join any channels.
Ooh.
Uh, Beard. Alright, I give him talk power.
Ooh, doing.
Ba ba ba.
What are you doing?
Well, who's doing?
Don't.
Oh, what?
Wait, what did you do? Gave him talk power.
He's not in any of the server groups.
Yeah, don't give him any talk power or anything. We gotta give him a group.
Okay, I removed it. Alright, we'll put him in the gang. Boom.
Where's my audio?
Hey, there you are. You sound good. They say something else.
There we go. Now I can hear everybody.
Ooh, it coming a little hot, bro. Hold on. If it's on my side. Oh yeah, I got you turned up. Holy shit. Boy, do I have you turned up.
Yeah, you can turn me down a little bit. Don't worry.
Turned up, turned on, whatever.
That too.
Yes, Battleborn is free. This weekend, Battleborn open beta and Doom open beta.
All that shit's on the weekends. I gotta work.
I know that it pisses me off too, because this weekend's actually gonna be really busy for me. I was even contemplating canceling my podcast on Saturday, but I think I'm just gonna make it a shorter show. I hate canceling shows. The slippery slope. You start canceling shows, next thing you know, you start taking more weeks off, and next thing you know, you're like, we're gonna take a break. No. Show must go on.
Take your foot off that gas, and then it's over.
Exactly. Unless you're using Open Drive, then you could probably get away with it. Albie says he's gonna install. So he's installing the Battleborn. It's a good game. If you like the MOBAs, can't go wrong.
Wait, so what did you promise me to after the show?
Ooh.
You.
I believe you wanted me to play Battleborn, and I said I'm gonna try to play a couple of rounds.
Who wanted you to play Battleborn after the show?
You!
I didn't say nothing about it.
Last night you did.
We were talking about before the show.
Were you talking before the show? Oh. Yes, I have checked out Orcs Must Die Unchained. I haven't played it that much though. It's a good game too. It's too many games coming out at once. And Fire with Fire got greenlit on Steam, so that's there. And oof, I don't know. It's a good thing I don't like every game that comes out. Like I'm really particular. Like I really just stick to the multiplayer things. So like the Final Fantasy 15, demo, I guess you could call it, came out, and I was curious about it, but I was like, it's not really on my radar. I hear it's like Kingdom Hearts too, so that's a little weird to me. Kingdom Hearts should be Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy should be Final Fantasy.
I know, I'm kind of excited for 15.
It looks good. I'm not gonna lie.
It fucking better. It's been 10 years in development.
Yeah. That's really scary. Like anything that's in development for longer than 3 years in this day and age, it's like already setting yourself up for failure, unless it's an indie project.
No, it's still gonna fail. Look at Starbound.
I like Starbound, but no one really plays it, so.
Well, it's because the devs broke it and then left it alone, let the community fix it.
Which is the same thing they did with Terraria, but people are still going back to that.
The devs didn't abandon the game, though. The devs didn't abandon it. Relogic is still working on that.
But they're both
Those
games.
guys.
Aren't they both games published by Chucklefish?
No. No, Terraria is not.
I thought Terraria was Chucklefish as well.
No, that was Relogic and look it up.
I could have sworn it had the same opening. Maybe I'm bugging out.
I think you're bugging out, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're a loser too.
Well, it's almost showtime, boys.
Again, like I said, I'm just waiting on you.
505 released Terraria.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Duh.
They're so similar though. Like, let's be honest, and they're
Like old news.
Yeah, they're similar games, but Terraria has had nothing but support since its release, and it keeps getting free content updates, and the game's 5 years old.
yeah.
Ready, Yogi?
I am ready. Let me know when you start the stream, and I'll cue up the music.
All right. Mute yourself, Beard. I'm good.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
You are listening to an All Games Radio Network broadcast of AllGames.com.
Hi, this is Normie from Knuckleballer Radio and Zombie Cast, and you're listening to one of my favorite shows on the Geeky Antics Network. Don't forget to check out the rest of the gang over at geekyantics.net. Warning, there might be rants and food ahead and possibly inappropriate behavior. Don't tell anybody though.
And welcome back, geeks, gamers, ninjas, robots, and, well, whoever else listens to this show. What's up, guys? It's HorsePLAY Live. My name is Obi1X2. And, of course, today is Thursday, April 14th, 2016, episode 122, titled Going Deeper on hashtag The Division and MOBAs. Maybe. No, because we said that last week. And we didn't get to half of what we wanted to talk about. But before we get into all that, I'm joined by somebody that, if you don't know him, you're wrong, or you just were born. Everybody's filthy favorite hardcore casual, the man himself behind GeekyAntics.net, the one, the only, Yogizilla. What's up, dude?
Welcome to Tuna Radio. I had to squeeze it in there.
Right. And we also have a guest today that's gonna probably be with us the whole show, kind of giving us his points and just kind of chilling with us today. So, Beard and Hat, what's going on, dude?
Not much, man. Doing all right.
Been seeing you stream a little bit more lately. Figured.
Yeah, I've actually had a chance to. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, now the baby sleeps through the night, I actually get a couple nights a week to carve out for myself.
Isn't that glorious when they actually start sleeping through the whole night?
God, it took 10 months.
Yeah, it took mine like 4. I mean, he was not even that. I mean, it was like 3. He was sleeping through the whole night, which was awesome. and now he's a devil. So
That's
But
usually
how
how
you
it
guys?
works. When you get
Yeah,
the babies that are quiet and calm, they grow up to be real loud assholes.
yeah. When it might be just a bump. He'll look and look around, see if anybody's looking at him, and if one person's looking at him, he sits there, opens his mouth wide as hell, and like, what are you screaming for? I skinned my knee. You got to scream?
Like, come on, kid, you're fine. Get up.
Yeah. Rub some dirt on it. Walk it off, son. Walk it off. I rub dirt on it, you get infected, Dada. Okay.
Get out of here with your science talk.
When your 4-year-old comes up and says, "No, Dada, it's gonna get infected," dude, you need to listen.
I don't know. It worked for Robinson Crusoe, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's dead now anyway.
And every father in the 70s and 80s, rub some dirt on it, son. It'll be all right. Walk it off. Walk
It's
it
like
off.
yeah, it's like Survival 101. Put some spit on it and some dirt or both.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep moving and maybe just wrap something around it. Boom, done.
Yep. Definitely. What have you been up to, Yogi? You first.
Well, like we were saying in the pre-show, it's like one of those interesting times where it's super busy. It's I think it's a great time for gaming, and it's actually like I don't know. It's like sometimes these publishers and I don't know, like they all like get together and say, let's release everything at the same time. I feel that's what they do, because like we have these like periods where nothing comes out, and then everything comes out in one shot. It's like Jesus.
Well, if you think about it, it's pretty good business to know when your competitors are releasing a game, so then you can release a game, shortly after or right before, or make sure you got the hype on your game to, sell product too. I mean, it's just business.
Yeah, but they're releasing on the same week or something the same day. I think I don't know. Me personally, like maybe their mentality is, oh, if someone goes to buy X game and they see our game, they might pick it up as well. But I feel like I want to have people completely focus on my product, so I have the chance for people to actually play it. Like, during those quiet times, people are like, man, there's really nothing to play, which is weird because I don't know how you can ever get to that point. I feel constantly like there's way too much to do, and I wish there was time where I could have the luxury to say, man, I'm bored. Like, to have that luxury to say, I'm bored, there's nothing to do, that must be nice.
Well, even with like me, with what I'm doing now, with the next few months with me is the Xbox, and we're streaming off that, and I'm playing that. I mean, even just the few 5 or 6 games that I play on there, you got the Madden, which I gotta keep up with the weeks, which when we're doing it, we do, like a week a day. So by at midnight, we, like after the show, if it's not already switched or something, but like after, like at midnight, I make sure it's at the next day unless everybody's on, and we play. And I mean, it's once we get rolling and everything, it starts to get going. I mean, there's just a lot to do there. Then you got, the Division, dude. We're playing like that like crazy. My the Black Ops, I want to make sure I can get max level there so I can actually do what I want to do. I can get my dead silence and be totally quiet. I was on there today, just loud as all hell, thump, 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 running through water and doing all this other crap and still killing people. It was great. I've actually found out how to play that game. Like, it's just one of those things where it's like light bulb, ding.
See, BFT got caught up in Dark Souls 3 like so many other people. See, if that or Quantum Break, I see everybody playing right now. Like, you are
Also working on the Bloodborne DLC.
Oh, God, yeah, I heard that's good. I heard it's good, too. I've been hearing good things.
Crushingly difficult.
So much gaming goodness, too. And then, Call of Duty, Black Ops 3 is coming out with a new expansion this month, isn't it? Next week?
Yep.
So, Rainbow Six Siege has some new content. The Division, I mean, then there's
that's
like
another one where we have to play to get our, to get all the specialists and everything.
Yeah, the grind is real. But outside of the gaming stuff, and by the way, it'll remind me to tell you about my most epic game that I've had in Madden yet. Holy shit, this was a clench your butt cheeks game. I was raging, and I was actually in party chat with Batman slash Deadpool, whatever he's calling himself these days. And I swear I turned to like a sailor hardcore. It was crazy. But between all the gaming goodness, then there's lots of work, lots of stuff going on, lots of projects going on, new shows that we're launching, new changes to the website and the network as a whole, and then clients and sponsors, and Jesus, I'm working on a couple new websites, doing everything end to end. I'm developing their content, I'm doing their graphic design, I'm doing their back end development. Really involved, but that's what I like. I don't like doing strictly front end. I don't like doing strictly back end. I like doing end to end. I'm a bit of a control freak.
You don't sleep, do you?
I don't sleep to begin with, and when I have projects like this, I definitely don't. So, I guess it's a good thing I have sleep apnea, so it kind of helps.
Yeah, that helps a little. I wish I had that luxury of not needing sleep.
Oh, I do need it. I just don't get much of it. It's one of those things where it's like I wake up and I'm like, I'm still tired, but it's like if I try to go to sleep now, back to sleep now, it's gonna take me so long to go back to sleep. Then I'm gonna get about maybe an hour of shit sleep, and then wake back up and feel like I just wasted time. So, get up, walk around a little bit, run around or something, have some coffee, have some nicotine sticks, and get at it. That's kind of my routine.
Stay awake. Yeah.
Yeah. And the vape does not do it for me. People keep saying, just do vape. Nope, doesn't work for me. Doesn't do it.
That stuff's... It's not the same. It's not the right texture. It's not the right heat. It's not the right flavor.
Yeah, it doesn't give me that pick-me-up. That's the thing. I don't know. No matter how much I go with the nicotine, I could do 24 or 30. Nada. But,
You
BFT
just gotta
said...
start smoking meth.
Oh, God. That one I'll pass on.
Come on, you don't need teeth. You'll be up for days.
Oof. The teeth I could probably do without, but, like, the skin craters and all that other stuff, oof. It's like leprosy. It's crazy. But BFT 9000 says he's selling his PS4.
Yeah, I see that. That's disappointing. Because there's actually good stuff coming this year.
He's fully converted. Like over the past 2 or 3 years, we've seen him kind of edge more and more into PC. So I kind of figured it was already gonna happen. It's kind of no point for him to have a PS4 at this point, because all the games he wants to play are on PC. So I get it. Plus he doesn't do much multiplayer gaming, so that makes it even easier. Because the argument of where are your friends playing no longer applies.
Yeah.
Wow, you're being rude today, aren't you?
Who?
You.
I'm not being
In rare
rude.
form.
He
He comes back at you and snaps you and bites your head off.
What?
That's on you, bro.
What did I say? No, he's BFT has admitted that he's
It's not
not
like
a big...
BFT has any friends anyway.
No.
But because he doesn't do multiplayer gaming anyway.
No. That wasn't a jab. He's admitted
Asshole.
that he's not big on multiplayer. It's not really his bag. And we have a lot of listeners, a lot of friends that that are not big on the multiplayer stuff. That's perfectly legit.
Mm-hmm.
Because as far as single player stuff, most of the stuff comes out on PC as well. Anyway, so
Right.
well, we know you've been on PC since 2008, but like the past 2 or 3 years that we've known you, you've been hitting it much harder. So I saw the writing was on the wall.
Oh, it was coming regardless.
Yeah. It's really hard. We weren't really gonna talk much about news tonight, but I guess we could mention, talk more about the stuff that's been buzzing around about the iterative platforms that are coming out for the consoles. You know, they're doing like they're calling it the so-called PS 4.5, and you know, Phil Spencer says that Microsoft not doing the similar thing, but they've kind of entertained the idea of iterative hardware where it's still the same ecosystem, but you know, better hardware and more features, and still the same software library, but better performance, and you know, et cetera, et cetera. Like you get 4K, and you'll get VR support. I don't know, a faster processor, better GPU, more.
Yeah, I can understand why Microsoft would be doing that. I can understand that, although Xbox is a separate division, it's the same company, so they're going to be just driving people from console to PC. So they're getting it from one instead of the other. Why Sony would be doing that? That just seems like they're shooting themselves in the foot.
Well, you know, I think it's kind of a necessary move at this point, as the consoles get closer and closer to the PC price point as far as total cost of ownership. I mean, I would argue that they're there already, you know, and the moment that, like, if you look at consoles, the moment that they come out, they're like 3 to 5 years behind on tech, because they take so long with the engineering and develop, you know, all the research and development, right, all the R&D stuff. By the time they actually release the stuff for public consumption, it's already old tech, right? So they're already struggling on that end, and the PC market's moving much faster. You know, then the consoles fall behind even more because they're not modular. So I can kind of see the need for it, and they're saying that if they do it, they won't screw over the existing customer. It'll just be one of those things where you won't get the full experience. You know, it'll be watered down if you don't upgrade. So, you know, I kind of understand it. It seems like it sucks, but consoles are becoming more and more like the PC now anyway, you know? Like, look at all the games, like, you know, all the indie games that are on Xbox One and PS4 now. It's, you know, all these games, if you look at the release list, it's all like these like hundreds of titles, most of them you never heard of, but if you're a PC gamer, you're like, hey, I know that game, you know, like Speedrunners and
Well, even
Rocket League.
even if it's like the games, but even just the platform itself, to where you can watch Netflix, you can be on Discord and you know, on Xbox, or you can you know, watch Hulu, or you can pretty much do anything you want. I mean, you have a browser, you have you know, everything you need to actually be on there. I mean, it's slowly becoming. I mean, I remember PlayStation 1 and 2, there wasn't really much. PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 started getting to where you actually have that maneuverability and those different windows. And then now with PS4, Xbox One, you have like a full interface of, like, you have a computer.
Oh yeah.
Just at you know, a plug and play computer.
Well, and as strange as it sounds, I run into a lot of people that don't even have a computer. Like, their Xbox One or their PS4, that is their computer. Like, that's their media center, that's their gaming system, that's their web browser, that's their social media platform, everything. It's crazy.
Well,
but
for common people, you don't even need a computer. You don't even need a system. I mean, a cell phone will do everything you need.
Yeah. And that still boggles my mind, because as much as I love my smartphone and it's handy when I'm on a can or having a smoke break, I wouldn't want to be restricted to that 24/7. You know?
But you could be. You can easily just log on, pay your bills, check Facebook. The standard things people do online, you can just do on your phone. You don't need a laptop or a desktop for that.
Yeah, but to have to do all that on my phone, even at like my wife's got an iPhone 6. I have a HTC Evo 1. I mean, the screens are decently sized, but I don't want to do all that shit on this little ass screen.
Yeah, even if you have a phablet, it's still a smaller screen, you know. What are they coming out with, like 7-inch screens now? That's still relatively small.
Unless you have an iPad Pro.
You could go with the tablet, the full-on tablet, yeah. And now a lot of the service providers are doing these deals where you get, you know, buy a phone and you get a tablet for free. Like, they're really getting aggressive with that crap. What they don't tell you, though, is that the the data package for those things are pretty ridiculous.
But most of them are unlimited
Yeah,
for the tablet.
yeah.
Unless it goes to Comcast.
Oh God. Oh my God, that'd be the worst. Can you imagine if Comcast went in on the cellular service business? Oh God, no.
They wouldn't get any customers, dude.
No, people will jump on it. People will jump on it because they sweeten the pot. Be like, hey, you could bundle your your cable TV, home internet, your phone, and your mobile phone, all for one low price. Oh yeah,
AT&T does it.
they do. And you know
Except
what?
That's a good service.
Yeah, and you know what? As much as people shit on AT&T, I've never had a problem with them. They have their
neither.
flaws, but I never had a problem with them. They always had good customer service. The guys they send out are friendly. A lot of times, if you talk to them, they'll hook you up. You know, just butter them up a little bit, and you get free cables, and they go above and beyond what they're supposed to do on a service call. But Comcast is ridiculous. They nickel and dime for everything. Like, just to have a guy come out, they're charging me. Even if they don't fix the problem, it's stupid. Even if the problem on their side, I still have to pay for it. Like, you made a mistake. Why am I paying for someone to fix your problem for a service that I'm already paying for? It makes no type of sense. But that's Comcast logic for you.
You don't like it? Move out of that district.
Yeah, no, right? If it were that simple. If only it were that simple. We are thinking about it, though. So maybe sooner than later. Which sucks, because we like our house, but
Move up here.
it's bullshit over here.
You hear me?
Move what? Michigan?
Yeah.
You're planning to leave Michigan.
No, I'm not. Not anymore.
And up north is much more expensive than down south, man. I don't know if I can move back up north anywhere. I've played with the idea at times. Because like
Maine
now,
and Vermont are cheaper.
yeah, Vermont's cool. Vermont's very
They're like
progressive.
they're like the south of the north. You can survive there on a minimum wage job.
You can survive in Michigan on a minimum wage job. On the west side of Michigan. Detroit side? No. Better
Yeah.
be making no less than $15 an hour low there.
I hear Flint is a happening place to go live or
Yeah,
visit.
if you don't drink water.
That
But real estate's cheap there.
might be too soon.
Too soon, right? Yeah.
Hey, just go buy a house in Detroit. You can get a mansion for like $1,000, but it's in Detroit.
Yeah, there's bullet holes in it.
Well, the benefit too to that, you know, you could go watch Lions games live, or you could swim across the pond and go to Canada whenever you feel like it.
No, not getting back in the United States. They're cracking down on that too.
Damn. Well, you shot down all the pros. The rest are all cons.
All right, time to move to San Diego.
I love San Diego, but San Diego is so expensive. You might as well live in New York City. There's just there's certain places that are just too expensive. It's like to live there. I'm like, I might as well just move back to New York. You know.
Yeah.
But my better half, I think she's done with cold weather. Every time I even joke about moving up north anywhere, she's like, no. It's like, you could go there. Like, damn.
For peace.
So.
Get yourself a nice summer home in Queens.
Man, to have that kind of money. You know, I actually know someone that owns one of the last houses in Manhattan. Manhattan. And it's so quaint because it's a bunch of buildings, you know, regular buildings. They're not high rises, but they're pretty tall. And then in the middle of the buildings, you walk through one building, and then there's a house in the middle, like in the courtyard. It's weird, but it's really
Like
cool
up.
too. Like what?
Like up. Where that old guy strapped all the balloons to his house.
Yes, yes. But like, imagine a building in front, like covering the front as well.
Yeah, it's a square building with you know, and then in the middle of the courtyard, in the middle of it's one house, yeah.
I would
seen
sell
that
that house for
online.
the fortune that it's worth.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure they're looking to sell it soon. But it's been in the family for generations, from what I understand. It's an old Italian family. But yeah, when they could sell in the market, put it in the market, it'll go quickly. It's a nice little house too. It's actually really roomy. It's just trippy to me. Like, it just boggled my mind to. I don't think, like, New York City, I don't think of houses. You know, it's an anomaly.
Definitely not Manhattan.
Yeah. Blue likes the house too, apparently.
Real interested.
She's singing about it. So Obi,
But
what did you tell the fine folks? The usual stuff that we tell them right about now.
no, you can do it. I'll do the next one.
Okay. So I guess you guys were wondering, our opening theme is actually Jet Lag Dubstep by Technowax. That's Techno with a K. You can check him out at technowax.com for all your royalty-free music needs. And we got some good stuff for you tonight. Is this the part you gotta do, Obi? You gonna tell all? Are you up for it?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Sorry, dude. I just threw up a little bit ago, so I'm kind
Oh,
of breathing.
delicious.
Like when I started coughing uncontrollably, I couldn't stop. And yeah, tonight on the show, guys, no news again. Yes, but if you're hankering for that, give the B Team podcast a listen. They rock. You guys can check them out Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time on allgames.com. The division just got a massive update. You bet your ass we're going to be talking about it. Some fat loots in there, guys. We've been doing our dailies, doing some, the challenging missions. We're not up to snuff to do the incursions, but I did go into one. Yogi's been into a few, and they're hard. That's all I can say is they are hard. We're going to finally dig deeper into MOBAs, guys, and a game that we haven't talked nearly enough about. And maybe we'll talk a little bit more about TV, food, of course, just because usually by the end of the show we're both hungry, so we say something. So, by the way, guys, if you are new to the show, welcome to our awkwardly weird party.
Woo!
HorsePLAY Live is everywhere. Geeks come to play, and 9 times out of 10 get in trouble. We're the flagship talk radio show for Geeky Antics Network in collaboration with allgames.com. Our show covers all the aspects of geek culture with a special focus on indie and strategy games, technologies, rants, issues geeks face, and community events we'd like to be a part of or like to put on ourselves. Now, sometimes we even talk about tabletop and retro gaming and food. Like I said, we're more than likely going to talk about food because we're usually hungry right about 12:30. So we'll end up talking about it. Did I mention we rant? Did I say that?
A little bit.
Yeah, we rant about anything and everything. We do. So keep in mind, bear with us. You tell them a little bit more about the show.
So yeah, we're HorsePLAY Live. We're live and uncut. We're a late night show, and late night things tend to get turned up. Now, we're not trying to turn it up. It just seems to happen. This is how it works out. So we may say something offensive. We may make references to farts and private parts and all kinds of weird, awkward stuff. So just keep an open mind, have fun, and remember that this is HorsePLAY. The name says it all. HorsePLAY shenanigans, geeky antics, if you will. It's all there. It's what we do.
And really, if we do say something that offends you guys, we really want you to know to just get over it. We're not trying to do it on purpose. If it really offends you, sorry. Good luck. We always say something to offend somebody at some point. Don't do it on purpose. We're just trying to have some fun. Guys, don't forget that HorsePLAY Live is every Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Pacific on Twitch channels Geeky Antics and Yogizilla. HorsePLAY Live replay is also available earlier, right around 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursdays on allgames.com. So you guys go check that out. Give us about 5-10 minutes of your time. Really appreciate it. You don't have to listen. Just you can mute us, put it in the background, do whatever you want. Just hook us up with that view, guys. We really appreciate all those that are helping us with that. That's how we get on the charts for the multiple, and I mean multiple shows that are on allgames.com. So for you guys that are helping us get on those charts, we really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Word.
I've got so many things grinding my gears today and this week that they're all jumbled up. So I don't have one. I'll probably think of something by the end of the show if I have one.
For your OB on the pody?
Yeah, because I have some stuff I want to say, but it's one of those things where I have to deliberate first to decide if the consequences is worth saying it.
Well, I do want to put something out there real quick. If anyone has, I got some contacts I need to explore myself, but if anyone happens to have a hookup for chairs, I'm looking for a nice chair that's not a DX Racer. That's way out of my price range and not something I want to spend money on. No offense to anyone that has a DX Racer. Just want a comfortable chair.
I have a DX Racer. What the fuck?
With armrests, and some good lower lumbar support. Actually, I got a nice little lower lumbar pillow, so that's just a benefit. It's a nice comfortable chair to, I spend a lot of time in this chair when I'm podcasting, working on projects, gaming. Spend a lot of time in the man cave. It's time for a new chair. This one's already squeaking. It's beat up. I've thrown it so many times.
Don't you have like an Office Max or something like that around you?
Yeah, but I'm just putting that out there just in case people might have a hookup.
They have dumpsters, right?
It might lead to another sponsor. Someone put it out there. People contact us.
The dumpster behind Office Max will be the next sponsor.
Sure, dumpster behind Office Max. That could be a good banner. Place that banner ad there. I think people will click on it.
Yeah, especially if it's like a dumpster with googly eyes.
Everybody you put googly eyes on anything, instant sale.
You'll at least get someone's interest.
That's the epitome of clickbait right there.
You anthropomorphize something that isn't really supposed to be. People are in.
It works with everything if you think about it. Penises, bananas. Those are all phallic though. That might be a different thing.
That might be a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was going to go with like children's stuff like Brave Little Toaster.
Oh, I love Brave Little Toaster. There's not enough love. Not enough love for that movie.
Because it wasn't Disney. So it's never going to come back.
That might be part of it, yeah. But it had that feel-good vibe. It had the feels. There's a lot of feels in that movie. I don't know. I really liked Brave Little Toaster. I even liked the sequel, which a lot of people didn't even know that existed.
I love the Brave Little Toaster and didn't know that existed.
Yeah, dude. It's a thing. It's pretty cool. It's like Saved by the Bell, the college years.
You're not really doing a good job of the hard sell there.
Sure I am. Kelly Kapowski. There you go. That sells it.
All right.
See? Now you're like, oh, okay. That's what you should have said. You should have let in with that.
Yeah, that you're kind of burying the lead there.
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
I pick Zach Morris.
An AC Slater type.
Oh my God, it's Slater boy.
The tan with the Jerry curl.
That'd be a good
90s.
That'd be a good poll to have. Like, are you team Zach
A
Morris?
muscle guy with Jerry
or-
curl hair? What the fuck? You want to write what? Hold on. We were talking about AC Slater, and all of a sudden he's like, "That'd be a good pole to ride."
A good
Like, what are you
poll.
thinking?
A good poll to put up. Like a poll, like a survey.
I'm sure he wants to put that poll up.
Yeah, you know he does.
My lord. You guys. We could be like Team Screech, Team Slater, Team Zach, or Team Morris, whichever way you want to say it. That'd be fun. I bet you we have a good split if everybody voted on it. We still have people voting on. We still have people voting on Cake versus Pie. People still voting on that, and commenting on that. The ongoing war.
You should seriously do it. You should go, and you could even put the two together. You know, like you go say, team, you know, Zach and Kelly, and then you go team AC and what's his chick's name?
Screech?
No, Slater's. What's her name?
Oh, you were talking about the girls too. Like the girls,
Yeah.
that'd be a different battle. Because then you have to be what is it? Lisa Turtle, Kelly Kapowski, and what was Elizabeth Berkley's character? Jesus, Jesse.
Jesse, yeah. Well, I would go. This is where I'm standing right here. I'm gonna go Team Screech and Team.
By the way, everybody, I forgot to shout out CCW Ninja 5. He's been here in a while, so quick shout out to him. So he says, all right. So you pick Team Screech, and who you pick from the girls? Obi stumped.
I don't know. I'm.
Now, is it a then or
between-
now? Because if you look it up today, like Elizabeth Berkley's still a cutie. Tiffany Amber is still a cutie. Lark Voorhees, oof, she looks rough.
That wasn't kind.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking it'd be like Zach. It'd be Screech and Lisa. Who actually, you know, it'd be Team Screech and Team Jesse. Actually, the long legs get me, dude.
Yeah, as far as her
And she's so
character,
hot, so
yeah, her, you know, yeah, it's a tough call. Personality-wise, I liked Kelly's character, but Jessie was the nerdy girl, and then long legs are a nice bonus. And then there was striptease and or strip girls or whatever.
no,
Showgirls.
Mm-hmm.
Striptease was a Demi Moore movie, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That was good too.
Mm.
All right, moving on before we get a little too excited here. Wait, who do you pick, Taylor? He's dumbfounded too.
Yeah. You got to go with the as white bread as possible. You have to go with Zach Morris and Kelly Kapowski. Come on. What are you new?
You scrub.
Oh man.
Dare to be different.
I'm different from you guys, aren't I?
I don't know. I didn't really make a choice either. I just kind of played. I'm on the fence.
You
I don't know. I
cheeky
like.
bastard.
I mean, that's what made Saved by the Bell was all of them. So I mean, Zach had his own part. Kelly had her own part. Jesse and Slater had their parts, and because it was like three couples, minus Screech and Lisa because he repulsed her, but in real life they were swacking. So.
Get screeched. That was a thing.
Yep, it was.
You're welcome, internet.
And now he's like a millionaire.
I don't know about all that. I haven't
That's
kept
not a
up.
surprise.
Yeah,
He probably is. Yeah.
Freaking,
that?
he's a nerd, man. Just because he played one on TV doesn't mean he's not one in real life.
Well, we got a lot to talk about, so we should probably skip through the banter. We usually do shout-outs at this point, but I'm just going to say it real quick. Just check out all our awesome friends of the network, our sponsors, our clients, ad partners, whatever you want to call them, all our heroes. Go over to geekyantsnet.net/sponsors. Particularly, we want to highlight folks like Jinx for all your geeky apparel needs. We got Tangent Network, one of our affiliated networks. They're not part of the Geeky Antics network, but we work in tandem. That's the proper way to say it, But our actions don't reflect their actions, and our vice versa, legal stuff, blah blah. CYA, but we're friends. We're cool. We're peeps. Unified Combat League, check them out too, and of course the man himself, Vince Martin, and Martin Septic Service, of Middle Georgia. I love Vince Martin. He's the man. I can't say enough nice things about that guy. But I think we should talk about the game we've been hankering to talk about. But first of all, Mr. Beard and Hat,
Yes.
have you been playing a Division at all?
No, it's Destiny again, and I'm not going to fall for that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, we do have our week 6-ish report for the Division, so we'll talk a little bit about it. I've lost track. I know it came out March 8th, and that's 6 weeks then. Today would make 6 weeks, right? If my math's any good. We'll say 6 weeks.
We kind of took a couple weeks off too, so I think it's like week 5.
I've been playing every week. I just haven't playing much last week. Because I had to take a break from it, because I was putting a lot of time into that game.
I took a break because I was bored at the time, and I just wanted to wait for the new patch. That's why I'm so undergeared. Leave me alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bored, but there's still a lot more you gotta do, brother. We gotta get you geared out. Because the incursion is no joke. But yeah, it's been a little over a month now, and we got patch 1.1. It's brought us tons more content. So let's look at what we have. But we got some comments already in the chat here. BFT says, Destiny is dead. They just started selling armor sets so that they can be used endgame. Yeah. And I'm with Beard. I think Destiny died with the Taken King. I think they mishandled that launch. You know, a lot of things don't sit right with me. Paying for content you already own. Undoing all the work that people spent 6 months, a year, or more to do. You know,
They took everything that was year one that was top tier, got rid of it.
Yeah.
All that armor that you had that you grinded in the raids for. It's garbage at that point.
Yeah, and it's weird because Destiny suffers from an identity crisis because they do not want to say that it's an MMO, but they're doing all the stuff that MMOs do. So they called it a shared world shooter to dance around the fact that it is an MMO and it's a grind fest. But then they do these constant nerfs and balancing patches and all this crazy stuff. It's like, what do you want to be? Like, I just don't get it. Like, I feel like they have no real direction. Like, they just kind of make it up as they go along. And now, the thing that we said that they should have done with the Taken King to kind of make amends, now they're going to do with supposedly the next major expansion. At least 3 of us should be running the signature move that revives everybody and heals on the fly because we do not want to wipe in the middle of this because then we had stuff from the very beginning of the incursion or from the last checkpoint. And they're like, no, we need more DPS. So I'm gonna run the tactical link. And like, we don't lack in DPS. Like, we're killing these guys quickly. The problem is that we need to be able to, heal ourselves and resurrect people right away, revive people right away, so we don't wipe. That's more important than getting the DPS up. They're now saying crowd control. Everybody should be running crowd control. So that one particular player didn't listen, and we kept dying. And at the end of the day, the run became a bust because people had to leave and go to work and shit. And I'm like, But that just goes to show, like, in Destiny, you could carry. One person could carry, and it's like, it's not really about a team. It's a lot of lone wolf bullshit. And especially if you do Trials of Osiris, it's a lot of BS. It's very individualized. And it all comes back to the PvP. It's like, get the best gear so you go back to PvP and dominate. I don't know. That's my feeling on it, at least.
No, I get that.
All they care about is, they don't care about the experience, they don't care about the challenge, they just want the loot. And that's bad. See, that's why I think the Division has differentiated itself for me. I'm enjoying the challenge, and the loot is just an added bonus. And that's what I appreciate about the game. And it's more about the mechanics, it's more about teamwork. Because, when I'm with a group where people want to do their own thing and they don't want to subscribe to a unified approach to the challenge, we will suck ass 9 out of 10 times. The other day we were doing the incursion, and we were doing really well. But I was telling my team, at least 3 of us should be running the signature move that revives everybody and heals on the fly because we do not want to wipe in the middle of this because then we had stuff from the very beginning of the incursion or from the last checkpoint. And they're like, no, we need more DPS. So I'm gonna run the tactical link. And like, we don't lack in DPS. Like, we're killing these guys quickly. The problem is that we need to be able to, heal ourselves and resurrect people right away, revive people right away, so we don't wipe. That's more important than getting the DPS up. They're now saying crowd control. Everybody should be running crowd control. So that one particular player didn't listen, and we kept dying. And at the end of the day, the run became a bust because people had to leave and go to work and shit. And I'm like, But that just goes to show, like, in Destiny, you could carry, one person could carry, and it's like, it's not really about a team. It's a lot of lone wolf bullshit, and especially with the Trials of Osiris. It's a lot of BS. It's very individualized. And it all comes back to the PvP. It's like, get the best gear so you go back to PvP and dominate. I don't know. That's my feeling on it, at least.
No, I get that. But it's funny because, 9 years ago, Borderlands got it right? And all these guys are still struggling with trying to figure out how to make a loot-based game work.
See, now, I enjoy Borderlands for different reasons that I enjoyed the Division. Like, I think if the Division had as much depth with the loot drops as Borderlands has, it'd be insane. It'd be overwhelming. Because as it is right now, the loot drops you get random stat rolls, different perks, and, all the rolls are really random, and you never know what you're gonna get. And even with the crafting, it's the same thing. So I like the way the Division handles it. There's a good amount of RNG, but not so much RNG that you're like constantly grinding just to be able to get gear, so you could go into a more challenging encounter, so you get better gear. There's always stuff that could tide you over. It's not a huge barrier to entry. Whereas with like Destiny, it's like, it's starting to get to a point where if you didn't have a Gallahorn back in the days, people wouldn't even let you go in the group. It's like, so if you were unfortunate and you never got a Gallahorn to drop, you have no control over it. It's not like you could find a substitute or craft one. You just had to hope it dropped for you. I was one of the lucky people that got like 3 or 4 Gallahorns in a row. And I pissed a lot of people off.
I didn't get a Gallahorn until the week before they nerfed it.
See? And I've heard that story a lot. People playing the game since the beginning, and it wasn't until towards the end of their playtime that they got a Gallahorn, only for it to be nerfed.
Yep,
and then
they dropped it on me. I got to play with it for a week. And then,
wait, did you buy it?
The new toy is crap.
Did you buy it from Xur?
No, I found it 3 days before Xur sold it.
That's a bigger slap in the face. Wow.
Yeah, that was just the ultimate just dick slap.
Jesus. But when I talk about Destiny, BFT, I am with you. The Dragon's Breath I do like way better. See, that's another thing too. Like, Destiny has a lot of interesting weapons. Like, that's one thing you can't, like, the way the weapons handle the fast-paced action. I like that it's like a Halo kind of arena-style shooter. It's very fast-paced, and I like that part of it. It's very satisfying, that aspect. Like, I loved running Prison of Elders. And the Dragon's Breath is one of those weapons that people laugh at, but it's really good because that AoE fire is really good whenever you have a solar burn or other situations where fire damage is huge, especially for crowd control. But people don't learn to appreciate tactics because they don't have to. It's all underappreciated. Because Gallahorn, the only reason it's so huge is because it's a huge Wolfpack, and it's a huge damage dealer. It's all about just getting as much DPS out as you can in a short amount of time. It's not about like having utility.
Yeah.
It's disappointing. Like, so many weapons in that game are underappreciated, and I don't know. If they made content that forced you to think outside the box and try different loadouts, it'd be a whole different story. All right, Robbie, have a good day at work. Take it easy, brother.
Yeah, that's the problem with. That was my biggest problem with Destiny. Was at the end of the game, everyone looks the same because all the armors that are good, there's only one of each for each class.
Yeah,
All the guns, all the best guns are all the same. So nothing's going to change. Everyone's going to look cookie cutter, and it's just... I keep going back and comparing it to Borderlands. With Borderlands, you had how many different weapons? At
Oh
least
yeah,
of the legendaries, there were over 100.
yeah.
And different options for
I can't think
armors.
of any time where I ran into someone that was running the same exact loadout as I was.
Except when I was a Gunzerker, because everyone likes running around with 2 Norfleets because it's funny. But for the most part, you had an infinite number of different pieces.
Yeah.
And it's not that hard to come up with different armors that do different things. I mean, Gearbox was just crapping them out. What was Bungie's excuse?
See, I mained a Warlock, and I found that there were a lot of interesting choices for armor. Even with even something as simple as the helmet. Like, sometimes I'd put my ram head on, or I'd put, I don't remember half of the names anymore. But there are a lot of cool things. Like, there was one armor set that I thought was really strong for PvE. Like, it had an effect where, periodically, if I got hit, it would, there's a high chance that it would stun enemies nearby me, but it only worked in PvE, it wouldn't work in PvP.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I actually was that guy that would run multiple PvE sets, and then really there was only, and again it goes back to this, for PvP it feels like there was ultimately only one build, and that's what everybody kind of ultimately looked at, is like, this is the one viable build. And to me that's the mark of a bad game design, and it's a problem that MMOs suffer from, where it's like, well, if you want to min-max, then you have to really run this set and this stat build, blah, blah, blah. This is the only way to play. And that's stupid. People should have not just the illusion of choice, but actual viable choices.
Yeah.
So...
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah,
and I think games like Dark Souls or Bloodborne or something, the From Software games, they do it well too, because there's a more limited amount of weapons, but you have to choose what you're going to build up from the beginning. Whether you're going to go strength heavy or dex heavy or go with a magic use, you're going to need to plan for that. And there's no one end piece for how you're going to look.
See, the Souls games, much like Elder Scrolls, I find are the top tier as far as freedom goes. Like, it's not just the illusion of freedom. You truly have freedom to play however you want. Like in Elder Scrolls, I know people that they do runs where they play as like a merchant and they just barter and negotiate their way through the game. That sounds boring, but to them it's fun.
It's like, what is it, Black Desert Online.
I've heard of this. I have not experienced this.
First of all, the character creation of the game is ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous.
More so than City of Heroes?
Yes. There are about 250 different blocks on the face that you can move. You can move different sections of cheekbone in different directions. You can change single strands of hair on your head. It's kind of like, you ever play Ark?
Yeah, a little bit.
That character creation to the extreme. And you can run that game however you want. You're setting up a town, you can be more like a merchant and shit. It's a game that I just will not play because of the time sink that it is. It looks too good.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like trouble to me too. Like, just with Elder Scrolls Online, I find that there's enough options there with the character building that I'm a little overwhelmed. And fortunately, they're smart and they're finally introducing a barbershop so you can make changes to your characters after the fact, which is great, because that's another thing that bothered me with Destiny is, like, once you create your character, you're kind of stuck with it unless you delete it from the beginning.
You never see your character, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and that's what people
you
argue.
Pop a helmet on, that's it.
But I still know. I know in my heart of hearts. That's
Yeah, I
that's
get you.
valid. Well, and you see a character in the social hubs.
Yeah, but you can choose to have either your helmet on or your helmet off.
Yeah, I'd like to have the helmet off and show off how cool my character looks.
But then after a while, when you're like, I don't like this character, look at this cool helmet I have.
That's really what it came down to. Is people just showing off their really cool gear.
See, I just had full head-to-toe Future War Cult.
Yeah.
Head-to-toe in purple, yellow, and orange.
But I think I ran Future War Cult as well. I don't remember. But back to Division.
Back to Division, yes.
Obi's like, Destiny, how did we get here?
Obi's probably taking a nap now.
Oh, you're fine. I'm just chilling, listening to you guys. Just kind of watching some videos silently.
Well, all these discussions, they set a good backdrop for what we're going to talk about with the Division, and I guess it's going to be much longer. This is going to be a pretty long quickie, because we do have a lot to talk about. And one of the things, actually, that relates to what we were just talking about is unique items, named items, set items. You know, it's a great thing, but the moment you introduce that into a game like this, there is a potential problem, whereas you might end up with people all working towards the same end goal, and that's not very compelling. But what I have seen so far is that although these set pieces that you can get as drops or buy as blueprints and craft yourself, they do offer a lot of utility, and they do offer you highly focused perks that fit into your role, your intended role, right? There are still drops that may have better stat rolls that you may end up taking up anyway, or you might have multiple sets that you'll swap out during a mission or for different kind of encounters, you know. So I think they're handling this the right way, because I really do hate. I'm like you, Beard. I hate cookie cutter shit. I like to do shit my own way. I don't want anybody to be like, oh, well, you're not running this gear, so you can't run with it. That's asinine to me, because that does not sound fun to me at all. Like, let's all work to be the same exact character. And then
Yeah, that the have and have not mentality when it comes to certain guns or gear or I don't know, that always bugged me with those games.
yeah, like loot is fun, right? It's great when you're aware of really like rare drops and you get that ultra rare, that legendary, that epic drop. And you're like, yo, man, I got a Midas. Oh, I got you know, Midas basically is the Galahorn of the Division, more or less. But that shouldn't be all you're working towards. There should be other satisfaction, better rewards than that. So what they did with patch 1.1, now they introduced more opportunities to farm dailies, so you can pretty much repeat them. It seemed like an unlimited amount of time. Your hard and your challenging missions. You also have daily and weekly assignments. And what I like about these are things that are pretty organic. They're things that you'll likely accomplish just by doing the things you should be doing already. And you'll get additional rewards for doing what you do already, which I think is great. Another thing they did that was a huge boost to the game's economy is recalibration. So now when you recalibrate gear, it will always cost credits, and you never have to worry about it costing Phoenix points. Phoenix points are basically what you would use for high-end gear. So now recalibration is always driven by credits. And Callum Wiper, what's up? Oh, he says hey, and then he's plugging in his own channel. Oh, that's a good hello. Come on, people. Self-promotion is cool when we get to know each other. It's like, buy my special line of lotion. Like, really?
Like, yo, put these headphones on. Listen to my mixtape.
Oh
No.
God, dude, that's a huge New York City thing. That's one thing I don't miss. Everybody has a freaking mixtape. Well, nowadays it's a CD or, you know, I don't know, a link to an MP3. It's like, yo, check out my song. And I'm like, oh God. Everybody's
Go
a
check my
freaking
SoundCloud.
yeah. Oof.
No, I won't.
That's like too aggressive. And SoundCloud, oof, SoundCloud's going out the window apparently. Just kind of sad, but we can do. But yeah, that hustle is really annoying. It's like, hey, I get you on the grind. I appreciate that, respect that, but in this day and age of social media, there's better, more effective ways of promoting stuff. You can still do the street team thing, but like, if you could tell someone's in a hurry to get somewhere, or they're really not interested, don't keep following them or strong arming them. Like, no, stop it. That's how people
That's
get
the best way to get what you want, though.
punched. Yeah, I guess it must be working for someone if they're still doing it, right? It's like you're on a subway train and you're like, all right, I'm in this enclosed space for however many stops. Oh God, I hope someone doesn't go through my subway car trying to peddle their shit, and it never fails. Always someone. Like, can I just sit here and read my book, or just drift into space, or play on my phone?
Hey man, you need a watch? I got watches all over, man. Look at this. I got a Rolex. I got a fake Rolex. I got a silver Rolex. I got a gold Rolex, and I got a red Rolex. Which one you want?
Yep. That's pretty much the hustle, and if you're not interested in that, they're like, oh, I got batteries. Everybody needs batteries. Like, Jesus. What else you got under your coat? You want some
You don't want
condoms?
to know.
You need some rubbers? I know you're about to go to a party. I got all I got the ribbed. I got it for her pleasure and his pleasure. I got the flavored. What flavor you like? I'm like, oh my God, Jesus.
You guys prepared for every encounter.
Ready to upsell you and cross sell and all that shit. Oh man. So alright, so back to the division. So unique set blueprints, Dark Zone supply drops. Now I have mixed feelings about this because, you know, maybe I'm just being a curmudgeon about this, but the Dark Zone is a PvP enabled zone. That does not mean it's a PvP mode or a PvP area. Let me explain what this is. It's PvP enabled, and it means that you engage in PvP if there is some kind of tactical benefit to it. If there's some potential reward. Alright? It doesn't mean you just go around shooting everybody, especially people that don't have gear on them. It's right now the Dark Zone. That's the one thing I have a problem with. It's a hot mess. I think there needs to be a better way to handle it, or a dedicated PvP area, like a training mode simulator or something, where people can just shoot each other for the hell of it. Because there's people that just have that itch, just kill people. Like, I'm not carrying any gear. I mean, you can tell I don't have the little fanny pack, but I'm getting shot at for no reason. Like, you know, and the thing about it is now with these supply drops, there's more reason for people to camp out these areas where the bosses spawn or where the supply drops spawn, because they're on a timer, and it's just a hot mess. Because like silly Yogi doesn't understand what having the PvP zones. I understand. I just think it's and this is what happens in any MMO, but it's really annoying.
It's broken when they force you to go there.
Exactly. Because if I could ignore it completely until I'm in the mood to do PvP, then I'd be fine with it. But there's things you can only get in the Dark Zone, namely the Dark Zone blueprints.
I mean, there's some people that don't particularly enjoy PvP in a shooting game. I don't know who that would be, but there are some of them.
Well, see, I love PvP, but when I'm in my I'm in the headset. Like when I look at the division, I look at a game that shines really well in PvE, and I like that the PvP is there, but I don't want it forced down my throat. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I'm in the cooperative mode. I want to take out tough bosses and, you know, have hordes of enemies come and just take them all on, and have random people come by and help us out. That excites me. But then, you know, you have these trigger-happy people just shooting because they can. It's stupid, and I, like, you know, I don't mind it if I'm not basically I'm required to go into that area to get certain things, because you have to rank up in the Dark Zone in order to get certain blueprints, and, you know, there's certain things that only drop in the Dark Zone. It's stupid. It's not the best gear. It's not the only place you get the drops, but you kind of ultimately, if you want to get a well-rounded build, you have to go through the dark zone. So that's my only complaint, and I get it because it's a PvP zone. People are gonna take advantage of that fact, but it's getting worse. Like people are just starting gunfights just because they can. It's like one person shoots, and then next thing you know, like 20 people shooting at each other, and it's a massacre. And then you gotta respawn at the nearest place, go back and hope that no one picked up your loot, rinse and repeat, and it's just like, you can't walk 3 feet without like people shooting at you. It's insane. So I think they need to do something to kind of fix that up. Create an area where people can scratch that itch. Because I'll shoot someone if I see they have loot, or if they look like, or better yet, if they look like they're acting sketchy. Like someone, if you're in an extraction zone, you're trying to get your loot, send over for extraction, and you're waiting for the helicopter to come in. And you see people hanging around that don't have any loot on them. And you're like, why are they hanging out here? Oh, they're trying to ambush us when we try to extract our loot. Okay. And so you have to fire that first shot. Preemptive strike. You gotta make a tough call. But if you do it, you go rogue. And that's another thing that's kind of shitty about it. Is like, yeah, you're like, going rogue should be a bigger disincentive, but it's not working the way it's intended. The people that are just PKing for fun, they're not really scared about going rogue. They're like, oh, whatever. I got the best gear in the game. No one can take me out.
You get bonuses for going rogue for so long.
And that's another thing. Like, they incentivize going rogue. It's like they want the trolling to happen. I don't know. It's like two forces that are directly opposite each other in one place. You know what I mean? Like, you have a place that's really
Right.
fun PvE, but then you're trying to incentivize PvP, and it's not creating. It's just not gelling with me right now. I don't know.
Right. Well, why don't you go into when you're in a group and you start doing incursions and all this stuff, what roles there are for people to work up to, and maybe explain, because even me myself, even I've played it quite a bit, I don't fully understand all the rules. So explain that some for everybody.
So they're not like the nice thing about the way the Division handles the class system is that there isn't a class system. Everybody builds the character where you want, and if you want to respec, there's no respecing. You just put on different gear, and that's basically how you respec. Because you have 3 main stats. You got your stamina, your electronics, and your firearms. And you usually will go heavy on 2 and light on the 3rd. But as far as your role goes, that comes down to like what stats you have, what kind of weapons you're rocking, and the abilities you have slotted in. Like you have 3 abilities at once, including your signature ability. So with that, there's a few roles. They're not really hard set, but what I've seen, there's your DPS. DPS comes in 2 forms that I've seen mainly. Your sniper and your front line. Then you have your tank. A tank could be more of a support, or he could be more of a DPS tank, like an off-tank kind of build. Then you get your other support role is your medic, of course. You have and then if you have someone that's, DPS but also has good healing abilities, let's say their firearms, electronics. That's basically what I'm running. You have your combat medic, and then what I say, the last role is kind of duelist. And that's what a lot of people are building towards in this game. If they spend a lot of time in Dark Zone, chances are they're duelists. And what it is basically fully committing to just being a PvP beast and sucking ass in PvE. This is another problem I have with Dark Zone. Is like when you go to Dark Zone, you kind of have to re-gear and play differently and have different abilities. Because what works in PvE doesn't really work in the Dark Zone. And that's the problem. Because you're running into PvE encounters, but you also have to watch your back in case some asshole just wants to randomly shoot you for the hell of it. So, I don't know. That's kind of a pickle that I'm encountering. Have you noticed the same thing, Obi?
I have, but it's. I really don't have an issue with it, because if I'm going to the Dark Zone, I'm gonna have to watch my back anyway. Now there is a fine line to where you can go maybe like a duelist / like medic, kind of build to where you have that firepower plus you have like what you run. You run your firearms and electronics. So you have good damage and then you have really good heals.
Yeah.
So like I mean you could run something like that. So then you're still effective against the level 30 plus in the dark zone. But then still you can watch your back when something happens. You don't have to sit there and go, fuck, I have the wrong turret. You know, you still, or I have the wrong, you know, whatever.
Well, I think the best duelist build right now is probably stamina firearms. Because what people are doing is stacking up their armor, their exotic damage resistance, and then they slot in the overheal or the pulse for extra damage. And they slot in the sticky bomb that blinds people, because then they just flash you, and while you're flashed, that little moment where you can't see shit, they just burst you down, and you're done. And then if you happen to survive that initial attack, they got so much stamina and damage resistance that chances are they're gonna out DPS you, and it's a little silly.
Well, we'll start getting our groups going and actually getting more and like making maybe like a day, you know, every week that we get in there and actually get some in. We'll go PvP gear too.
Yeah,
Have some fun doing it too.
that's what I want to do.
Exactly what I want to do.
I want to farm secondary sets, so like when we're in Dark Zone, I'm probably gonna run stamina and firearms.
Stamina and firearms, yeah.
Yeah, because you don't need high electronics to run sticky bomb. The only thing that the electronics would impact is your cooldowns, but it's the flashbang is gonna be effective regardless.
Yep.
You know. So. And as far as the heal is impacted, but at that point, if you're running overheal, it's just so that you have a little extra heal on top of your med kit, and it doesn't really matter if you have high damage mitigation. You know, you may not even need the heal. You may just run strictly pulse or some other damage buff, you know. Or you might run the healing signature move. Now that's the tricky part. Like I'm still debating if I like security link or tactical link better, because you could go security link and have a little more resistance, or you can just fully commit to tactical link and have the DPS. But if you don't have teammates that are gonna cover you and kind of tank for you while you can put that DPS out, it doesn't matter how much damage you're putting out there. If you're dead, you're dead. That's the problem. So,
Right.
The last thing we'll talk about before we move on is the first incursion. Falcon Lost. Some people saying it's too short. Some people saying it's too hard. And the thing is, there's already an exploit. You could actually skip everything and just go straight to the APC and the boss battle, spoilers, and just cheese it to death. But I'm like, I refuse to do that. I want to actually earn my stripes.
Well, shit. Then whoever wants to do that, come join my group.
Oh my god.
We'll leave Yogi behind. We'll farm that bitch every day. You know,
Nope, not me. Pass.
I gotta get 200 gear before I go in there anyway.
No,
So
it's 140 gear score to get in.
You know
on
what?
normal.
What do you think about? This is something we haven't talked about. What do you think about the gear score? Do you think this gear score is actually gonna hurt or make this game better? Honestly, because we've talked about having, you know, different games having gear scores, and if you don't have this gear score, you can't come, or, you know, like, what do you think?
I think the way they handle the gear score right now is pretty decent with the way they average it out between all your gear. But the thing is, a lot of people have high gear score and they have a shit loadout. Like I have one friend on my list that has like almost 200 gear score, and his gear isn't that impressive. Like, I don't think he's as good as he thinks he is. You know, and the thing about it is you can fake it. Like, I could go up to a 185 gear score, but the gear that I put in my opinion, sucks compared to what I'm running right now. Because I like the utility. Right. So, I think there's a lot of gear that has a higher gear score, but isn't necessarily better than what you have at a lower gear score. So, it's a good benchmark to get an idea of where people are at. Like, obviously, if someone's at gear score 100 or 120, they probably have some ways to go. If they're at 140, they're decent. 160 and up, that's a good place to be. 180 and up, I wouldn't put too much stock in it.
Right now. Or
Yeah.
161. So from the last time you see me, I was like 122. So, which I made that sniper rifle, and actually I didn't make it. I don't have enough parts for it. I need more gold parts. Anyway, I like it because it kind of tells you where you're at. Now you're always going to get groups that is going to, be like, oh my God, you're 139 and we need 140. No, sorry, can't do it. Like, there's always going to be groups like that.
Gear score is just another thing that people use to measure their dick size. It's just like
But
DPS.
you gotta realize, guys, when you have a piece of gear that just has a level on it. I had a piece. I had an AK, really high damage, really high DPS, almost 100k DPS, level 30. It was a purple, and it was just a level. No, it was level 26 actually, and it was one of those black market ones that it's like some kind of, I don't know if it was rare, but it's one of those pickups that don't drop very often. And it didn't count towards my gear score because it said level 26. Has to be level 30. And then you'll see the gear score on the far right where the level would be. And then once you actually replace those pieces that are like different levels and not a gear score, your gear score will shoot up. And it'll average all your, it's just like any, it'll average all your gear scores out. So you get a 200 weapon and then your lowest piece is 100, so it's going to average between 100 and 200. So, yeah.
This still sounds like it's Destiny set in New York City. You're still... Everything I've seen for the game, everything I've heard about the game, nothing has sold me on it. I was more interested in Rainbow Six Siege.
Which is another awesome game. See, it's a very different in play style. It's very different. Like, this is more tactical. It's more team oriented. You have to understand mechanics because it has a slower pace. It allows you to be more aware of your surroundings, your positioning. It's not as run and gun and just whatever, throw caution to the wind as Destiny. The gear score is also something that Destiny did well later on, like with the light levels. You know, this is something they're doing early on. So
they don't want people to bitch, so they're going to start it out early with that.
Yeah, because gear score is polarizing, and the gear score doesn't really come into play unless you're doing the end game challenges, which right now are incursions, and eventually they'll have other stuff too. So, like I said, I think this is a much more team-oriented game. Like I mentioned earlier, understanding the mechanics and having good teamwork fundamentals is far more important than gear score. Or your loadouts. If everybody understands their roles and everything meshes together, then it's great. Like I said, crowd control is king, and people refuse to run that. It hurts because. When I've had people that overextend and they keep dying, and then because they die, you have to go to their position and their way out, wherever in the boonies. That puts you at risk, and because they didn't run any crowd control, now you have a bunch of guys rushing you, and it's next thing you know, that's what leads to wipes. Because you have that one weak link.
Yeah, I think that's something that's missing in most games that are out now is the actual need for teamwork and people to know their role and stick with it.
Yeah, and
because everyone wants to be the hero. Everyone wants to come in big dick swinging and
exactly
take everyone's head off.
Everybody wants the sexy job, and it's like being a medic, a healer, being any kind of support role, a tank. It isn't sexy to most people, but killing things, that's sexy.
I'll relate this back to, since I haven't played Division, it sounds a lot like the way this game MAG ran. MAG was just a first-person shooter, PS4, rather high player count for the matches, but it required everyone to have a role and be that role. No one wanted to be the medic. Everyone wanted to have just the heavy machine gun and just go in and try to mow people down because you want those kill numbers.
Yep.
in order to fix it so that people actually played as a medic, they had to almost double the amount of points that you would get for healing as opposed to killing.
Yeah.
So a kill would be worth 10 points. Reviving someone would be worth 17. You got to find the bigger numbers somewhere to make people happy.
Yeah, see, there isn't a scoreboard in this. So it's one of those things where there needs to be some kind of feedback loop that reinforces those intended behaviors, those good behaviors that are not just killing people and surviving, you know. There
Like
needs to
you
be
get
more.
some kind of bonus after you leave the dark zone.
Yeah, something. Elder Scrolls Online has a similar situation. You know, it's MMO stuff. Like everybody wants to be the damage dealer. So then when you're looking for a tank or a healer, it's really hard. So guess what roles I play? Tank, healer. That's mainly what I do. I could do
The easiest way to get a group is to be the hot commodity.
Yeah, I mean, I have DPS classes and I do really well at DPS, but there's never a shortage of that. But everybody's always like, are there any healers, any tanks? Like, yeah, I guess I could do that.
That's why I always made my expertise medic. No one wants to play a medic.
Yep. It's just not sexy enough. See, that's one of the things that I always go back to Heroes of the Storm. That's a game that incentivizes, strategic roles, not just KDA, which is where a lot of online games have kind of devolved. They have kind of devolved into that place of like, well, what's your KDA? What's your ratio? You know?
And KDA on Black Ops 3 is above 1. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, it's the Call of Duty mindset.
Yep.
Well, and that's basically like as long as it's above 1, if it's 0.99, you're a shitbag. But if it's 1.01, dude, you're doing pretty good, man. You're about even. You're not under. You're like you haven't been killed 900 times with only 400 deaths.
But in a game where there's medics, you end up having to justify the massive deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing too. Like, it's not just about your kills. It's like what opportunities you create. If you got a kill in a very crucial point that led to a push or the taking of an objective, then that's what really matters. Like making those big plays. The truth is not always in the numbers. The numbers only give you an idea of what happened, but it doesn't give you the full story. But that's a discussion for another time, because we could go down that road. Whew.
You can go 80-0. You can go 80 no deaths in a match that your team loses.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Congratulations, you still lost.
Yeah, those like kill streak lone wolf types are often the worst team players because they don't actually help you accomplish anything. They're just out for themselves. That's not a good team experience. So, yeah, that's what I really like about the Division. I think it's by design. It's made so that people really it really places a great value on finding people you trust to just run anything with. You definitely I know people that go into Dark Zone solo. I think it's suicide, but they do it, and then they're usually the same people that complain when they lose gold items. Like, oh, I lost all this high-end gear, damn it. Or they're like, Yogi, can you come and help me extract this stuff? Like, oh my god, and it never ends well because they want someone to back them up after the fact, and then guess what? We all get wiped because they didn't plan it ahead of time. You have to go into there with a group, work together, have a plan, and know, all right, if the shit hits the fan, what's our rally point? Where will we fall back to? Where we rendezvous and then make a move together? Because then that's all it takes, one wipe, and then everybody spread out, and then forget it. It's just a cascading effect of just nasty shit. It's terrible.
You know what we should do is we should have find 2 extraction points, right? And then basically somebody shoots one at that one extraction point, and we haul ass to the other one. So basically whoever's going to be hunting, because there's always people in there hunting extraction points. That's all they do the whole time. They just go to extraction points, and as soon as you get ready to extract, they mow you down, take your shit, and extract it.
Yeah, that's a good strategy for sure.
So we go in there and we go, say maybe in like G1, and we go up to the G5 one to where it doesn't take very long to get there. So by the time you pop it there. It's going to take 1 minute 30 seconds ish. If 1 minute 40, that'll give you enough time to get over to that other one, pop that one, or have somebody over there to pop that one. And then so by the time you get there, you can extract and go. We could try it and see what happens.
Yeah, you gotta create diversions. That's definitely an important thing to do.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they're going for. Maybe that's the reason why they have it set up with people just easily going so rogue. They want you to think a little higher end on what you're trying to do.
Right.
Or the devs didn't think of that at all, and
And we're giving them too much credit.
yeah.
Quickie. Hey guys, it's up time for our quickie. Oh yeah, we got to do it because
Another quickie.
Everyone else is doing it. So what have we been playing? Heck, what we want to know what we've been watching, guys. We've been watching all sorts of shows, like crazy shows. Like I'm up to probably 15 weekly shows on Hulu now, and I think it's starting to get a little bit like I'm glad the seasons are almost up, so I can catch up on the other stuff. Yogi, you want to go first on this?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make mine quick too, because I wanna make sure we get to the MOBA discussion. I know we got about a half hour left, but one that we share in common that I got you into, right? You're watching it?
No.
You're not watching Supergirl?
No.
No?
I couldn't find it, dude. I don't.
Oh, well, they had a Flash crossover, and apparently they're gonna have more crossovers with the CW DC shows. So
Yeah, she's gonna be Supergirl's supposed to be crossing over into Arrow too.
oh, nice. This is, it's a fun show. It's not of the caliber of the Flash, but I'm enjoying it more than Arrow just because it's more lighthearted and fun. I think Arrow sometimes takes itself too seriously, and it's kind of a downer at times. But it has its ups and downs. A funny show that I really recommend: Last Man on Earth. Yes, Blue, I hear you. Have you guys seen this?
No.
Nope.
It looked too stupid to start watching.
You know what? I thought it was stupid at first, but it's actually really enjoyable. And also, I'm a sucker for Cleopatra Coleman. Her lips are so beautiful. Anyway, so nobody's biting on that one.
I'm telling your wife.
No, but the thing that's fun about the show is that it starts off as a show that is exactly what you expect. What would you do if you were the last man on Earth, and all the stupid shit you would do, right? And then it slowly evolves into more than that. And I don't want to spoil too much of it, but you find out that he's not the last man on Earth. And then you realize, like, the stuff that happens is, like, if you are, the two last people on Earth, how would that change things? What about if there's only 3 people left on Earth? Would you really still have petty differences and drama? Or would you just realize, well, we're the last of humanity that we know of. We need to really make shit happen. Would you be frivolous? Would you try to, like, keep society going, rebuild society? Like, how would you react? So even though it's a comedy, I think it tackles some really, like, interesting issues, and it's a fun show.
Alright, here's the solution to the last 5 people on Earth. You drag race Lamborghinis to see who's leader that week. There you go.
Yeah, that's one way to do it.
And so it shall be. Dung.
Another show that people were recommending, and I finally started checking out. I haven't seen too much of it yet. It's actually a miniseries, an 8-episode miniseries. It's Stephen King's 11/23/63. Very intriguing. James Franco's in it.
That's the J.J. Abrams show, right?
I don't know. J.J. Abrams might produce it. Just have a little bit of a flavor to it. I didn't notice too much lens flare, so I'm not sure if it is J.J. Abrams. but sorry, I couldn't help myself. But it's definitely Stephen King. You know how Stephen King, I think there's a few things that Stephen King does very well. I mean, he does a lot of things very well, but for me, like, he shines whenever he does, like, a small town story. You know what I mean? Like that, there's something about whenever he does, like, the small town, like, the little diners and, the little quaint towns,
That's because that's what he knows.
Yeah,
And
that's,
that was if I remember correctly, that was a really good book.
this is one that I haven't read, and I've read a lot of his stuff. This one I haven't read, so I'm just enjoying the show, so I'm going to completely brand new. Like, I've read The Strand over and over again in all its different iterations, and I love that series.
I do highly recommend reading that book once you finish the series.
Okay.
I don't think it's a long read.
Okay. I've been really bad keeping up with fictional reading. Most of my reading now is like technical, personal development type stuff,
Yeah.
It's hard for me to like budget that time. I had to get better at that. But this is a fun treat. I'm enjoying it so far. So, all right. So next few ones, I'm caught up with Legends of Tomorrow. I'm not gonna talk too much about that. I'm caught up with Gotham. That show keeps. Oh God, that show is so good, and I want to talk about it so much, but a lot of people are not caught up with it. But the stuff they're doing with Arkham Asylum and explaining like basically the origins of what's going on with that, and nefarious plans they have, it's still like really hazy. Like you don't have a full picture of what's going on or why and what the motivations of everybody is, and then like Jim Gordon, spoiler, he gets framed and then he gets himself out of it, and we're seeing the beginnings of the Riddler as we know him, and the Penguin as we know him, as we've come to know him, and it's such a good show. It's so good. Agents of Shield, iZombie. Anybody?
Oh yeah, I'm watching them all.
Agents of Shield.
Agents of Shield, Legends of Tomorrow, iZombie, Daredevil 2. I already watched that. Of course, the Arrow. I watched Empire as well, which is the music aspect of it. But
Now iZombie's done, right, for the season?
yes.
Cause that was like that last episode was a oh shit like bomb dropped.
Yeah, like on who's a zombie and who's not.
Dude, like I kind of saw it coming, but I was still kind of like, damn, like the freaking New World Order shit. I'm like, oof, and all the they have a lot of little subplots going on that makes that show really fun.
Well, that one girl zombie, I thought she was going to go crazy when that one guy zombie was turned fully.
Oh yeah,
I thought she's going to go nuts, dude.
That shit, I feel bad about
up.
that. Like, and I saw that coming too. Like, I was like, he's gonna be a hero, and then she won't.
Like,
she
no,
wasn't
they're
gonna get there.
Kill his ass off. Actually, never mind.
Yeah, but it's setting up a lot of stuff though. Like,
and then that guy's daughter, which happened to be eating his brains in the elevator.
Dude, yeah. They had a lot of good moments that last episode, man.
I can't. I'm sorry, guys. I'm talking in circles, but I can't talk too much. I mean, I can tell you everything, but
Now, see that's how you do a cliffhanger without freaking shoving a giant dildo up someone's ass, like the way The Walking Dead did.
Yeah. I still have a bitter taste in my mouth from that one.
Yeah, that shit was such a cock tease, man. Talk about being blue-balled, man. And we knew it was coming. We knew they were gonna do it, but
Yeah, still made me angry.
Oh well. Well, Flash is coming back April 19th, so we'll have that to talk about next week, OB.
yay!
But iZombie, can't wait for next season already. All right, I'm gonna wrap up mine there. I'm not even gonna talk about the video game stuff, other than we do need people. We would like more people for our Madden leagues on Madden NFL Mobile and Madden 16 on Xbox One. So hit us up if you want to join us.
Now to hit us up on and this is something to hit us up on either of them. You can hit us both up. I think I can add on mobile, and then Yogi can add on Xbox One too if you need to. He can add you right from his friends list. So for those that if Robbie who was gonna join us, I know War Kid's gonna join us, and then I think you said Robbie.
I don't know if Robbie's gonna join us. I'm trying to get him on the mobile. I don't know if he'll join us on Madden Madden 16.
Scrub. Well, who's gonna join? I thought you said somebody's gonna join us on the Xbox.
I invited Kevin from the Worst Radio Show.
Yeah. But you can just if he's on your friends list, you can just add him.
I did.
You can invite him too. So.
I did. I didn't know about working. Did you invite him?
Yes.
All right. And cause I'm Batman, aka Captain Deadpool, said that he won't join because A, he doesn't really play Madden until it's football season, and B, he doesn't wanna embarrass us. He's talking smack.
Bring your ass on, scrub.
Yeah, I said, I don't know. I won't give you a challenge, but I think the rest of our league will. I openly admit I'm a scrub. Speaking of which,
I play on all Madden, guys. So if you want to challenge me, come right ahead. I am more than willing to show you how to receive an ass whooping.
Obi, let me tell you about my epic game, and then we're gonna move on to our next segment because unless you have any big shows you want to talk about, but
nope. I just got news for Saturday. That's it.
Okay. Did you have any shows you want to talk about, Beat and Hat?
No, I haven't been watching much TV other than Walking Dead.
Okay, all right. Well, this is my Madden game. So, I was leading by a touchdown, extra point, and a field goal. So I had a nice little lead. Then I give up a touchdown, but I still had, the 3-point lead, right? Actually, no. Because then they did a 2-point conversion, and they brought it down to, somehow they brought it down to, a 2-point lead difference or something. Anyway, either way, no, that's what they did. Then they in garbage time, right? They freaking get a field goal and tie the game, right? And I have 15 seconds on the game clock, and I freaking do a clutch play. I think I did a play action, and they thought I was gonna go deep with it. I ended up freaking doing a lateral pass and running it 50 yards, and I get in field goal range, kick that sucker, and win that game in garbage time.
Nice.
I'm like,
nice.
This guy was like, there's no way I'm gonna take this into overtime. It was already a bullshit game. Opening drive, they fucking score on me. The 49ers, who have one of the worst records in our franchise, they're 1-8. They're worse than my team. And they were freaking, they were try-harding so hard. Oh, God. The shit they were pulling off, man.
I'm going to be the leader on mobile? I'm going to be like him I'm still undefeated. So, I'm 7-0. I'm on my bye week right now. Yes, I'm still undefeated. The only people that are going to beat me is a real person. That's all I can say.
I've started to get a feel for the behaviors of the AI. Because the AI is unforgiving if you don't understand what triggers them and how they behave. But I'm starting to see the patterns.
Well, like I said before, as long as you know what each position does, outside linebackers, they're either going to rush outside. They're rarely going to rush inside. That's the middle linebacker and the defensive tackles. The outside linebacker is either going to do one of three things. He's going to rush the quarterback, he's going to drop into the flat, or he's going to back up 5 yards into the middle of the field. That's it. Unless he's man-on-man on a receiver. And then if he's man-on-man on a receiver, that receiver is more than likely 9 times out of 10 in the slot position, which is right next to the defense or the tight end, if anybody doesn't know that, but as a wide receiver, and he's probably going to go over the middle.
Yep.
If you just make your linebacker stay there, even when you're running, there's a little trick on mobile, and I don't know if I want to put this out, but you don't even have to hit the joystick. On Madden 16 is the same way, but as soon as you hit anything, you stop running. You can let the guy do his own play, and 9 times out of 10, he'll find a hole and just scoot right through it. But if you touch anything, if you do a spin move, a stiff arm, whatever, it stops right dead tracks, and then they hurt you. I did that with my running back the other day.
Yeah, I got to work on my running game and let them do more of the micro and only take over when I really need to.
The best thing is that I found out, and I know we got to get to this next topic before we get in, But the best thing that I found out is don't hit your speed boost or your R1 or your right trigger. Don't hit that until you at least get to the line of scrimmage. Unless there's
Yeah.
somebody in the backfield, you got to maybe hit it a little bit early, because if you hit it right at the line of scrimmage and you're running, you're doing a set play and you're running through a hole, you'll actually run right through that hole because you're not going fast enough. And then if you bump into your own guy, you'll actually do a spin move off of him. It's actually really, really cool. You just make sure that you don't hit it too early, because by the time you get it to the middle linebackers, you have no speed left.
Yeah. It's like a little burst of speed. You got to use it when just the right moment. Yeah, I'm learning those little nuances. It's still frustrating because the AI is much harder than previous Madden games. Like, you can't slack. Like, other Madden games, they can play on autopilot, but here I have to actually think about what I'm doing.
Oh yeah, you gotta. Yeah, you got to. MOBAs.
Well, we'll do a quick 2x and then we'll do our feature discussion. But let's get it set up.
Time.
Oh, just a quick question. We're not gonna answer them. Just gonna put it out for people to call in and stuff. So, is the MOBA space becoming too crowded? And how do we feel about WB games and how they handle Guardians of the Middle Earth? It's something we never really got to talk about. And, it kind of leads us to what we're going to talk about. Should MOBAs ever not be free-to-play? I think free-to-play works for MOBAs. Are people willing to pay for a MOBA game? So let us know what you think. 646-801-2149. Again, 646-801-2149. That's our voicemail / SMS, text line. So text us some voicemail there. But let's talk about a feature discussion. Let's get into it. Basically, we're going to continue the theme of MOBAs, why we love them, hate them. And we're going to talk more about, a little less about Smite and Heroes of the Storm tonight. We'll talk about more about Battleborn. I think that's all we really had time for. So, Obi, I know you've been playing, because the open beta is here on all platforms that matter, at least. Open beta is on PC and Xbox One. Now that
Platforms that matter, got it.
it's a PS4 too, but we don't really care about the system. At least I don't. The elephant in the room. Okay, this is my only concern.
You call me fat?
No. The elephant in the room, Obi. Okay, we know the game has great polish. It's a fun game. It definitely stands out on its own, right? But are there gonna be enough players on the game, since it's a full price game? It's a paid MOBA. You have to buy into it before people can even play. Shouldn't this be a $39.99 game at most? What do you think?
I don't think it should be 60. I really don't. From playing the beta and playing what characters we could play, or that we were allowed to play, the game is really, really good. I mean, you're looking at, and forgive me for comparing it to these games, but the game's kind of like a third person, like a Smite, or even kind of like a Gigantic feel to it. If you guys have ever played Gigantic, it's kind of got that third person feel to it.
Yeah.
If I were to say, it'd be like a Gigantic's competitor, because it's so close to where it's not just like you're not just, I mean, you can shoot a long way. For the guys that I play what's his name, Oscar Mike, and then I play the sniper, and even just with Oscar Mike's, he's got a machine gun. And even with him, I can shoot a long way if I can hold the crosshairs on the person. But I like the feel. It being a $60 game, I don't know if I would buy it. But I do
Consoles
see,
where it's going to do real well.
I do see what they're doing, because it's like, if you're willing to buy this game, maybe there won't be as many trolls, per se.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
You look at League of Legends, you look at Heroes of the Storm, you look at Smite. Yes, even Heroes of the Storm, where it's free to play. Anybody can get it. Any Tom, Dick, Harry, 10-year-old can play the game. And, if something's not going right, they get killed 2 or 3 times. We've seen it. Me and Yogi have seen it personally. And, you get killed 2 or 3 times in the first 5 or 6 minutes. Well, I'm done. See you guys. Wait. We just started the game, dude. Where you going? Oh, I died twice. I'm no good. This is not League of Legends, dude.
See,
We need to play as a team. Like it's like I said, it's not one of those regular MOBAs. I don't think it should be $60. Maybe $29.99. Maybe $39 at the most. I mean, max $40.
yeah, what it should have.
$30 would be a good price point for this game, just because that's enough investment for somebody like me or you that wants to play the game with all those stupid freaking idiots going, I'm a big guy with a gun and I'm in the back line, or I'm an Oscar Mike and I'm playing a freaking sniper role, shit like that. It's like you're not gonna get that if they gotta pay for it. I mean, if it comes down in price, I'll definitely get it, but it's not something I want to pay full price for, especially with all these other games coming out.
This is my thing. And Beard is right. Like, it's gonna do really well on console because we're used to paying out the ads for games. It's own like that's kind of the hard part of doing the console thing is if you're a PC gamer, you're like looking at the prices like, damn, we're really getting raped left and right. With PC, you get so much value. It's like it's night and day, and it's sad. But what they should have done with this is made it like a $20-$30 game. So it's like a premium. It would be like the equivalent of like a premium indie Xbox Live Arcade type thing offering, right? It's not like a full-fledged release. But but it has the polish, right? There's enough content there. But then they should have given the option for people that really wanted to buy it and go all in to get added bonus content, the skins and all the bullshit, in-game currency.
We saw this, though. We saw a company do that, though. We saw that with Evolve, and we saw how bad that backfired.
But Evolve, the problem with Evolve is that they were a full-price game that also had a shit ton of microtransactions after the release. That's a bad model. You have to either be free with a lot of microtransactions or cheap with some microtransactions. But you can't have full-price game with tons of microtransactions. That's a bad economy. Especially a game where it's a game that is all strictly multiplayer. You need people online for matchmaking. I don't think this game's going to be multi-platform crossplay. Hopefully it will be at some point. Cause that'd be ideal. Like, I feel that needs to be a thing. Because you want as many people playing this as possible. So either they're gonna end up dropping the price really quickly, or they're gonna sweeten the pot. Something has to happen to make sure that there's people playing the game. Because if the wait times are any longer than like 2 minutes, there's just too many other alternatives for people to go to.
Yeah, people will go to Overwatch.
Overwatch, Gigantic, Smite. I mean, there's just too many options on console as it is. And then if you're on PC, whew.
Well, good luck getting people away from League.
Yeah, though I wouldn't put this in the same ballpark as League. Like League of Legends, I compare with Strife, Dota, Han.
But I mean, that's what people they're going for, though. That's who they want to be playing their game. Because if you get the higher ups interested and invested in the game, the people who watch them on Twitch will then buy the game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think with Battleborn, it's a game that will appeal more to people that previously didn't like MOBAs, much like Smite has done and Gigantic, right? Because the big hang-up with a lot of people is they don't like the top-down, isometric type style of presentation, right? So you make it fully 3D and you make it beautiful, and then there's lots of eye candy. Suddenly, that barrier is gone.
Isn't Paragon doing that too?
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's one we haven't even touched.
Yeah, Janelle was playing it the other day. Or Genie.
And that game just is another one that I see it and it just doesn't appeal.
What was that other one, the web-based MOBA that people were playing for a while? What was that game? By the way, Paragon, that's the one that's made by Epic Games, right? The people that... Didn't they do, I can't even think now. Fucking, Gears of War, right?
Yeah.
So... Yeah, and Paragon looks good, but it's like... Is there enough compelling, like... I don't know. There was this web-based game, though, that people were playing. It was a web-based MOBA game. You play it as a web game or as a standalone game. Like, a lot of streamers were rocking it for a bit, and it just fell off. I don't know what happened. Oh, what's that game? It was actually kind of cool, too.
Name that game.
Fuck.
Heroes of Rune?
No. Keep saying name, maybe eventually you'll jog something.
Chaos Online?
No.
Booty Calls Are Us.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Thought so.
Nailed it. Anyway, neither here nor there. But, you know, Battleborn, you know, I'm really loving it. I'm just scared it's going to be another Guardians of Middle-earth situation where they're going to burn the candle on both ends and their greed is going to result in the game dying out. Which is a shame.
Oh, man.
You know, because I think there's enough compelling reason to be playing this alongside of Gigantic or in place of Gigantic. I think Smite still has something different from this. You know, Smite's a little bit more bordering on traditional MOBA. This is Battleborn feels more leaning more towards a Team Fortress style experience, like Overwatch does. You know, it's more objective driven.
Yeah.
And then it's got the little tower defense element in there, your resource management. A lot of nice things to keep it really fresh, you know, and the action feels good and it's intense. It's really fast paced. There's a lot of good things going for it. It's just, you know, full disclosure, I have the game on pre-order, so I've bought in already. But I'm looking at it, I'm like,
dumbass.
$59.99, man.
Never pre-order.
I usually don't. But now with Amazon Prime, you get that 20% off. Kind of hard not to do it.
Right.
You know, and sometimes they'll throw me a deal like get an additional $15 off. It's like I got the Division for 30. No, I got it for less than $30, brand new. And I've gotten more than my money's worth out of it. 120 plus hours already in that game. So, hopefully they do right. Like, I don't know. I hate to say it, like, it's not like, I don't want to be that guy that says that certain games should always be at a certain price, right? But if you look like a shmup, I love shmups, right? Shoot 'em ups, you know, where you're like a little spaceship or a little dude shooting guns and avoiding bullets that are coming in, you know, those kind of games. Like Gradius or Life Force or
I already said
Ikaruga.
yes. I already said
1940.
Yes.
This is for our audience. Don't be a dick.
I need some more examples, please.
1942, Raiden, Raptor,
Yes.
Blue Stinger.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I can keep going.
Continue.
Lightning Force.
Good one. Good one.
Heavy weapon.
Great job. I knew you'd get that one.
I go on and on. I love the
please do.
Some kids might say that Contra is technically a shmup. It's definitely a bullet hell game, that's for sure.
For some reason, I knew you were going to say that one.
Did you?
I thought he was going to go Metal Slug.
Yeah.
Metal Slug.
Man, that was a good one too. Yeah.
Metal Slug, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, the point is, when you look at those kind of games now, there's still an audience for them today, right? But when you look at that game, I think the average person will say this is a $15 game at most. $20 if it's like a Simemora caliber of game with a lot of polish and there's actually a narrative and all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. Oh, and of course, let's not forget Panzer Dragoon, the best shmup ever.
I would, yeah, definitely.
Anyway, I had to get my Sega fanboyness in there. I was gonna lead in with that, but I refrained. I restrained myself a bit.
Just listed off 40 At least 40 games. Well done.
I like the genre, but I have to admit, as much of a fan I am of the genre, and I do have quite a lot of shmups in my collection,
You really
digitally
only
and
said
physical.
18, but whatever.
He was exaggerating for illustrative purposes. That's
You did like
perfectly
40
valid.
games, bro. No, try half that.
But the point is, that's not a game you would. If someone says this is a $60 game, which there was a game that released recently, digital only, no off the shelf offering. They were like, this is a $60 game. Like people were like, what? And it's it makes you think about like. I think there are certain price ranges for certain types of games. Certain models work for certain genres, and I think MOBAs are one of those genres where it's either got to be cheap or free to get in.
Well, yeah, that's because that's the industry standard.
Yeah, exactly. That's the
That's
expectation.
that's what the industry has decided. It's like we're gonna give you this game, we're gonna give you a taste, and then we have all this stuff you can buy.
Exactly, and there's plenty of stuff to buy. All cool skins and pets and ways to show off that you have lots of disposable income or nothing better to do.
Yeah, and that's how
Babies
those
are made.
games have. No, that's actually the opposite of how babies are made. MOBAs usually. Just saying.
You sound like a good segue,
I don't know. I think plenty of people fall in love in MOBAs. It's a very social environment where people are lovingly embracing each other and working together as a team.
We're going to give you guys a demonstration of a conversation between a male MOBA player and a female MOBA player. Oh my god, there's a grill in here.
Yeah, guys, I'm here.
Oh my god, you can suck my dick, right?
No, I don't want that little bitty thing.
Oh yeah, you fucking cunt. That's really all that happens.
My favorite thing is the girls that complain about that treatment, but they clearly want the attention because they go into like League of Legends, one of the most toxic communities in the world, and their gamer tag is their handles kitty girl meow meow. dude,
Or-
I don't want any attention with that name.
Or AKA, I know you know who this is, but blowjobs for blue buffs.
Oh God, yeah, and I love her to death.
I love you, kitty.
That's very tongue in cheek, but it's like that's all we need more to encourage the trolls further.
She's gonna yell at me, dude. Just like I'm gonna get yelled at. Shut up, Yogi Obi.
Now, before we start wrapping up, we gotta send this off soon. Let's ask Beard the $1 million question. I would say, because I don't think he's too keen on MOBAs. Why is it? What gave me that impression?
Yeah, what gave you that idea?
Well,
Intuition.
I won't put words in your mouth, but what is it with MOBAs that appeals the least to you, or what turns you off the most when it comes to MOBAs? If you had to pick one thing.
I think it's the amount of time that has passed since those games have reached their prominence. So I have no idea what I'm doing, and the community will then shit on me for not knowing what I'm doing. There's no real way to learn the game without just having to sit through being berated by assholes.
Well, goddamn, that was a bullshit excuse.
No, that's my legitimate one, because I can go and play something else.
That's actually really fair. I actually think that's the biggest opportunity with MOBAs, is making them less elitist and more accessible. Which is why I love Heroes of the Storm. I think even though it has given way to League of Legends tendencies, it's still the best game for people that want to learn to jump in. Smite on console is good for learning. On PC, it's hit or miss.
Not so much.
Yeah. But there are things with Smite to help you out, like the auto-buying system and the auto-leveling system, so all you have to focus on is the mechanics, the core mechanics, rather than, what build should I use? Is this the right item for this guy?
And guys, I've been playing people, You guys know I'm a ranged player, so I've been playing a lot of more Cuckoo, been playing some Ra, Poseidon, Zeus. A lot of these gear sets that these guys get, they automatically get their purification. They automatically get, their a damage piece, and then they get a health piece, and then they get a piercing or armor piercing piece. Like, they're automatically going to get a good set of gear. So don't worry about that stuff. Worry about how to shoot, how to cast your spells, how to move around your minions and around your team. Because you make one slip up, especially if you're playing one of those kind of characters that really don't have a lot of mobility, you can get caught very, very easy with some of those gods that are in Smite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you fine tune your awareness and understand the objectives, everything else will come into place. Cause that's
Right.
like, even people that play MOBAs a lot suck at that a lot of times. Like, they're just focused on killing rather than how can we take objectives, how can we push our team forward rather than just my scoreboard, my personal stats.
Right.
But Beard, if you are ever curious, we can always play Heroes of the Storm. That's something that's multi-platform.
I have it loaded up on my computer.
Dude, hit me up during the week. We'll set up a little ad hoc Heroes of the Storm.
And you
I'd love
guys
to
on
have more reasons to play that.
And you guys listening and watching the stream live, you guys can hit us up on voicemail or text 646-801-2149. Let us know what you guys think. We really do want to know. Like I said, unfortunately, it's about time to go. We do really love each and every one of you guys that listen and that join us live. HorsePLAY Live is everywhere you can listen to and download awesome podcasts, including allgames.com, Player FM, Stitcher, and TuneIn Radio. Please take a few minutes out to thumbs up, favorite, subscribe, share. Even better, guys, we'd love it if you guys leave some comments or reviews. And for those that are leaving those comments or reviews already, thank you, guys. It really probably didn't take you very long, and it really gives us some good feedback. So we really appreciate that. You guys like eye candy? We have YouTube videos and Twitch videos as well. YouTube.com/GeekyAntics, Twitch.tv/GeekyAntics here on Geeky Antics Network in collaboration with All Games Radio Network. We have tons of shows that we cover with a wide spectrum of topics. We can't possibly plug them all. So for the full lineup, go check out geekyantics.net/schedule. You can see our flagship show on our Twitch profile and our aggregate feed over at geekyantics.net/podcast. Don't forget, guys, our intros, outros are all royalty free, brought to you by technox.com. That's techno with a K. Go check him out. Thousands of songs, guys. It's really amazing. So, one thing real quick before we go, we're gonna get everybody's little digits, where they're gonna be at and where you guys can find them, guys, live. Saturday, we're having, of course, there's timey-wimey tea time at 12 o'clock, and then usually we have the NSFW, which is the same day as timey-wimey tea time. I have a little trip that I have to take, won't be home till about 6:30, 7 o'clock, so we're actually going to be doing NSFW, Not Safe for Wrestling, at 9 p.m. right here on Geeky Antics. So, guys, come check us out Saturday. That's 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Geeky Antics right here on Twitch. So, other than that, guys, you guys can find me anywhere, Obi1X2, anywhere, really. Xbox Live, Twitter, Twitch, whatever. Come check me out, guys. Come say hi. Yogi?
Yeah, so I'm Yogizilla everywhere. Xbox Live, Steam, Twitter. Yep. I think I covered all the bases. Tumblr.
Yeah. How about you, Beard?
Beard and Hat, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube.
Cool.
I think
Guys,
that
go
about-
check.
I think that about covers it.
Cool. Go check those guys out, guys. If you haven't, if you guys are listening to us on allgames.com, the Dag Pixel Live Power Ranking Show is up next, followed by Knuckleballer Radio at its new time every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Be sure to hang out and chat, hit the live or chat button. Now, remember our friends, of course, remember from earlier, B-Team Podcast is Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on All Games Radio Network. So, guys, that's it from HorsePLAY Live. This is Obi1X2, Yogizilla, and our guest, Beard and Hat. We'll see you guys next week. Later, suckers.
Peace.
Wow, that was weird. That double feedback thing. New outro. See you guys next week. You're an idiot. See you guys.
You said that the outro was too long, so I made it shorter.
Yeah, and then did something else to it too. I think we're still gonna try to play a couple games of Borderlands, Battleborn. Depending on how fast we can get people in here. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace. Wow.